Hello and welcome to another live stream. Let's hope this one is more successful than the last one, where my internet died on me and I wasn't able to continue the stream. But how is everyone doing? Hope you're all having a good day. Hopefully, you've all had a good weekend, relaxing weekend or working weekend, whatever you decided to do. For me, it was a bit of both, to be honest with you. I was doing a bit of relaxing and a bit of work as well. So playing with some AI, kind of interesting stuff. But yeah, let me have a quick look here. Just putting a few announcements to everyone. Just so yeah, we all know that I'm online. Hey Helen, how's it going? Hopefully this looks better. Is it okay? Let me know. I really hope that it's not going to be struggling this time. The internet, and this Airbnb. Hey, Mythic Gaming, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you coming on. Last time I tried to do a stream on Thursday, the internet just crapped out on me. Hopefully it's going to be better tonight anyway. So yeah, I don't know what was going on last time. I've reset the internet beforehand. Anyway, we all seem to be okay, which is awesome. So for those that don't know, my name's Simon. I'm a seven-figure Amazon seller in the UK, although I'm currently in Dubai. And I do these lives every Monday, Thursday, 8 p.m. UK time. Where I talk about Amazon and what I've been up to in Amazon and business, and here to answer any questions and help you out. If you've got any questions around Amazon, actually, there's been an interesting few discussions in the community. I've got a free community, by the way. So, link for everything that I talk about. I've got a mentoring program. I've got a free community. I've got, I think there's Cogito link down there as well, all in the, all in the description. Hey, MTT, how's it going? I'm in Dubai for 3 months. Yep, so I arrived on the 18th of January, I think it was. Yeah, so I've been here about 3 weeks now. AKJ, back in the aeroplane seat. Yeah, exactly. It's like the Emirates sort of first class seat, although I didn't travel Emirates or first class this time. Dubai is amazing. Yeah, honestly, I'm not getting much work done right now. I keep spending a lot of my time outdoors, just whether it's just walking around and Yes, Ramadan is coming soon. Is it 17th of February, 16th of February? Yeah, I can't. Anyway, yeah. Although, yeah, I don't know what date it is, but yeah. So, am I planning to fast during Ramadan? No, I am not. No. So, although that would probably be very good for me if I did. But yeah. So apparently, I've just got an error saying keyframe frequency for 4 seconds. I don't know what that means, but yeah. Hopefully, with the signal still going okay. I'm not planning on fasting, but it would be a very good thing for me, to be fair. It definitely would be. So, to be fair, I have lost some weight since I've been here. Not as much as I'd like. I've only lost about a kilogram, which is still not too bad. My diet's not been the best, but I have been very active, been walking around, just taking everything in. And yeah, honestly, I've just been going to the mall every day, walking up and down that big boulevard and just exploring around and having a look. Yeah, it's been pretty good. Can't complain. The weather's a bit nicer as well. It does get a little bit chilly in the evening sometimes, but yeah, it's pretty good. It's better than like boiling hot, I suppose. But yeah, so did you take Emirates first class to Dubai? I didn't this time, no. I couldn't get a first class seat. All I could find was business class, and I decided to travel BA business class this time. And it wasn't that great, to be honest with you. It wasn't that great. I could put some pictures on here actually. Hopefully, it wouldn't kill the stream. But let me have a look. If I can send them to myself, hopefully that wouldn't kill it. But yeah, what have I been doing? I've been trying a lot of watches. One of my favorite things to do is shop for watches. I've been doing a lot of that actually. I've tried on some very, very expensive watches. Like we're talking like enough to buy a house in the UK expensive. Not that I was planning on buying them, but yeah, but no, I couldn't get a first class seat. So actually, I've got some pictures here, which I'll send through. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Here we go. I'll send them to a Mac Mini. Hopefully, it won't kill the internet. Hopefully not. I just realised. Oh, yeah, I am hooked in. I just realised I should be on the Ethernet, but I think I am, so we're okay. But yeah, so hey Sam, appreciate you coming on. Sam is one of my new mentees, so I think we're having our first lesson on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. So that'll be good fun. So congratulations to Sam for coming on board. And by the way, I do a mentoring program. So if you're interested in learning Amazon, feel free to come on board. Sam's only had like one introduction call so far. So, I mean, he can tell you how it's like so far, I guess. But yeah, but only just getting started. So, but no, yeah, couldn't get those first class seats. Now I've got to convert these over to. So I went BA business. I probably wouldn't do BA business again unless I was forced to be honest with you. Need to export selected images, export to JPEG. There we go. So it was okay. I mean, not that great though. If you sort of, let me share some pictures. So, okay, I'm gonna have to like really, to be fair, you get to lie down, which is the main room, to be fair. It just wasn't that comfortable. If you look at the seat, you can just tell it's really thin. It's just not comfortable to sleep on. And you really don't get much like padding and bedding. But you know what? I'm not going to complain too much. It was okay. I just wouldn't take a night flight again, basically. Don't know if I've got any other interesting kind of like pictures you guys might want to see. But yeah, this is one of the benefits of doing for your feet, actually. But but it's still fine though. It still does the job. But yeah, benefit of doing Amazon is you can rack up the Amex points. And I don't think there's anything. There's one other bit I'll show you basically, which is something I didn't like, and this is like the crumbs and stuff like that in the seat. I was just like, oh my god, this is BA business. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, so his often help with section threes. It's not my area of expertise at all. So yeah, not one I can definitely help with. My knowledge around that is extremely limited, so I won't even pretend to know what I'm talking about realistically when it comes to that kind of stuff. But yeah, if anyone's got any kind of questions on Amazon, feel free to throw that there. But yeah, so I actually got a question for you guys as well. Is anyone using AI with their Amazon business? So I've been trying to embrace AI a little bit more. I've been using Claude, signed up to the Claude plan. And I'm using it to kind of like strategize my Amazon business, but also my social media business as well. And I'm just seeing the potential here for AI for things like reimbursements inside of Amazon. I guess you could use it for you could use it for anything inside of Amazon, really. I mean, obviously the holy grail will be using AI to source, is a good way potentially to do things. But even at the very basic level of you just running your Amazon business, from a high level, or even have it doing the nitty gritty stuff of actually going in and, I guess you can give it access, or you can get it to not script out, but write out some cases or something for you when it comes to doing reimbursements, things like that. So I don't know if anyone is using AI for their Amazon business. Be interesting to hear. I've got a bunch of different ideas around that. I've just mentioned a few there, but yeah, okay, Adrian's using Gemini, yeah. So the first thing is which one do you decide to use? There's ChatGPT. Well, I'm not going to list them all. I'm definitely not an expert on AI, but Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude seem to be the big ones. I'm sure there's some other ones, but yeah, maybe I'll play with all of them, I guess. ChatGPT has been the main one I've been using in the past, but now I've just thought, I'll give Claude a go. It seems okay. I was using it to do a little bit of coding earlier, and honestly, it's just so annoying at times. But yeah, I was using it for some keeper alerts, basically, just trying to hook those into a Discord webhook. Don't want to get too technical anyway, but yeah, I was just looking at that, and I was hitting some issues, but that's what you get for kind of vibe coding stuff. But yeah, I'd be interested to hear what you got, if you guys are using AI, and if you are, what you're using it for. And but yeah, so for me, I mean, again, one would be just thinking around, just ideas off the top of my head, just running your day-to-day business, with ideas, or just maybe planning out your day. You could use it for whether you use scheduling out sourcing or admin tasks or things like that, so how was so MTT was saying, how was your January 2026 sales? Not that great, but honestly, guys, and again, I'm not saying this is a good excuse, but I did absolutely bugger all in January. I spent most of my time, I'd say, chilling and not working, which is not good. I really need to get back to work because, you know, especially if I decide to move out here, I need to be earning more money because my cost of living out here is going to be quite expensive. So these are my numbers. I don't know why it's so stretched out, but anyway. But yeah, so this is my numbers in January, which, to be fair, considering I literally did no sourcing, I should say, no sourcing in January, or very little sourcing. This is not too bad. But then I'm suffering this month. I'm only on about 1,600 this month, I think. How much am I on? Yeah, just shy of 1,600 this month. So yeah, you know, this is the problem. If you stop sourcing, you will suffer later on, basically. So MTT took 5 weeks off in Jan, early February. Yeah. How did that go for you, MTT? What did you do? Just like chill out, or what was going on there? But yeah, so those, you know, but hey, it's still not too bad. But yeah, you know, so one of the things I'm thinking about doing is moving out to Dubai. You know, I've already kind of covered this a little bit, but you know, the cost of living out here is going to be quite high. I'm probably looking, you know, I've been looking at different apartments, and I don't want to stay somewhere not nice. So, you know, I'm looking at somewhere around £3,000 a month in rent. And then obviously you got bills and stuff on top of that, so 3,500. I was looking at and again, I was using AI for this actually. I said, you know, what's the benefit of me? Let's say, for example, I spent £600,000 and bought an apartment in Dubai, or am I better off to use that 600,000 in my Amazon business? And MTT, I was looking at this exact stuff basically. So I could afford a 2-bed, you know, apartment in the Dubai Marina. You know, in a decent building. I'm not going to say it's anything exceptional. You know, it's about probably 1,000 square foot. So it depends what building you get. Out here, you got different buildings, obviously built by different developers. Some are definitely more in demand than others. The newer buildings definitely go for a big premium versus the older buildings. But yeah, I was looking at that whole dynamic of, is it worth me investing, let's say £600,000? You know, should I take that money and put that straight into a property, or should I use that money and you put it into Amazon, for example, you know, or whatever, and you know, just rent for say 30, you know, it'd be 3,000 a month basically, let's say, for example, plus expenses. So, you know, and it pretty much came down to, you know, if I could make 10% on my 600k a year, which I think would be ridiculously achievable, then it's definitely worth, I think, in the long run. Again, it all depends on how the market goes. Just doing the renting versus the buying. But then if the market does well in Dubai, then obviously that property value outstrips, you know, the value. But that's at 10% though, which I think 10% in a year, obviously that was like a ultra realistic kind of like, not, you know, actually it's ridiculously low actually, because you put 600k into Amazon, you definitely, even if you've churned it once, let's say 30% ROI, 20% ROI, you're doing better than 10%. So, you know, but I just wanted to be somewhat conservative there basically. But yeah, it was an interesting kind of, and basically it all comes down to the fact basically that I'm probably better off right now, yeah, just renting, and if I do move out here, rather than buying. And yeah, I don't know, it's a difficult one really. It's a very difficult one to decide. I feel like the property market is a bubble right now in Dubai, but then I could be totally wrong as well. So by the way, if anyone's got any Amazon questions, feel free to throw them out there. But yeah, so or we can just talk about, yeah, my plans, I guess, and things like that. But I need to get hustling again now, due to obviously the fact that I, you know, I've got things like affiliates, my Amazon business, things like that. I still did, even though I did absolutely no work pretty much. To be fair, I did my mentoring, you know, in January. But you know, with a lot of stuff, I didn't do a lot of work. I still managed to do like 20 in January, so it's still okay. But realistically, as time goes on, if I don't put any work in, that will dwindle down. And obviously, if you have expenses like, you know, 3k on rent or whatever. But yeah, I'm not a fan of renting, by the way. I do prefer the whole idea of buying, but then it's the trade-off, isn't it? Basically, it's the opportunity costs, as they say, when it comes to what do you do with the money, you know. I don't know. Yeah, where is it better utilized? Do I source an ENI? I do not know, mainly because the invoices will not be valid for Amazon. But hey, if you've got any different information, you know, last time I heard, basically, when I spoke to the Seller Smart guys, I spoke to Sean, and yeah, he basically said that because they spoke to the people at ENI, that the invoices right now I don't think are good enough for Amazon. So yeah, with that in mind, I won't source from Eni. Just like actually, I want to do a bit of a public service announcement, because I've seen a few people have got authenticity claims from Cogita. Again, you need to be, again, Cogita is absolutely fine. I'm not saying this stuff is fake at all, but it doesn't, and there's always deals out there. There's a ridiculous number of deals on Cogita. But the difficult part is finding a deal that is from a seller that gives you marketplace invoices. And again, when you're buying on Cogita, there's two choices. You can get one that doesn't offer invoices and one that does. You always, 100% of the time, want to buy from sellers that give you invoices. Again, I'm not saying the items are fake if you buy from marketplace invoice sellers. But again, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove to Amazon. And Amazon just don't like just a Cogita invoice. They should be fine with it, but they're not. And they want both the Cogita invoice and the marketplace invoice. So that marketplace invoice essentially is an invoice from the seller. It's got the seller's details on there, the actual wholesaler essentially, all their information. So you have both of those basically, that supply chain essentially, showing that. So you have to. Don't get me wrong. I see the deals all the time on Cogita, and you see there's an amazing deal on there. And it's from a seller that doesn't give you a marketplace invoice, but it's just not worth it. Do not buy from there. Now, Eni, I think it's a slightly different model from my understanding, slightly different. But again, my knowledge of Eni is not that great. It's just what I've been told. But my understanding is Eni, when you order from a supplier on Eni, it actually goes to Eni first, then Eni send it on to you. That's my understanding. Whereas Cogita, even though you Cogita the marketplace, you order from a wholesaler, it gets shipped from the wholesaler direct to you. So Cogita never see it and never touch it, which makes way more sense. But yeah, so again, it's all about what you can prove to Amazon. Like there's certain sites out there like Starvana, Yes Style, what's another one out there? iHerb, for example. They are absolutely fine sites. Like I don't know about iHerb. Yeah, I'm pretty sure iHerb's fine. They don't sell fake items. Yes, they're legitimate websites. They sell legit items like Starvana. I mean, God, they're a massive website. But Amazon just don't like their invoices for whatever reason. I don't know why they don't like them, but they just don't like them. So pretty much recommend you don't order from them, even though you can find profitable items. And back when I started Amazon, I was ordering from Starvana. I used to get this like black rice what was it called? Can't remember the brand of it now. Used to do pretty well for me. But yeah, I mean, you just can't order from them now, basically. They just don't like the invoices. Why don't you travel? I'd love to go to Qatar, actually. I would like to. To be honest, I want to travel to different places, to be fair. So I do want to go to Qatar. Well, my friend just recently came back from Kuwait. He really liked it. I'd like to visit there, actually, as well. Yeah, I'm definitely. But right now, because I'm thinking of where I'm going to move, I guess those countries might be easy to move. Essentially, the problem is I want to move out the UK, but there's only so many places I can go. That's what it boils down to. So Cyprus is a place I'm considering as well. But so I'm going to probably spend a few months there after this just to see what it's like. But for now, Dubai is kind of like top of the list, basically. And I really do like it out here, to be fair. So there's a few things I'm not a fan of. Cost of living is quite expensive. But yeah, it is what it is, basically. So, and the summers get brutal. But yeah, anyway. But yeah, right now that's the contender. I'm going to give Cyprus a go as well. I mean, one advantage is, let's say I took 600k and I bought a property in Cyprus. I mean, I could buy like a 4-bedroom villa with a swimming pool. That is definitely appealing. Whereas if I buy something like that in Dubai, I'm looking at, a 2-bedroom apartment in the marina. Now, obviously, the marina is a pretty premium area. I wouldn't say obviously there's more expensive areas, don't get me wrong. But it's a nice area, basically, without apps going absolutely crazy. It's not like the Palm or something like that, which is that's that artificial island, which is just ridiculously expensive. So yeah, MZ, thanks for joining us, by the way. Appreciate you coming on. Best way to find ASINs that don't require ungating. That's a difficult one, really. I'd just say don't be afraid of ungating. You need to ungate as part of the process. So, if you find an item that's profitable and it requires an ungate, I'd be more looking to actually ungate that item. Now, don't forget to always click apply on items. A lot of items out there, it will say you need to apply. Actually make sure you do click the apply button, because sometimes it depends on how old your account is, what the brand is, your account health. But, sometimes when you click apply, it just auto ungates you. Again, it all depends on the brand for the most part. But then you can find out it might be just 10 units, and then you can obviously then figure out, is it worth ungating or not, really? So don't be afraid of ungating. I see there's a lot of fear out there for ungating, people not doing ungating, and trying to avoid the ungating. But you have to ungate. It's a pain in the arse, but it is getting easier. But you have to do it, basically. But yeah, so there's lots of places to I guess consider, I suppose. But yeah, when it comes to ungating, it's a pain in the butt. Don't get me wrong, but you can't avoid it. If you want to be an Amazon seller, you have to learn to ungate and get used to the pain in the arse that it is of ungating. There's no way around it, basically. So just embrace it and do it, basically. Do it. And don't forget, in your first sort of 3 months of Amazon, you're in a probation period. It is definitely tougher to ungate some of those better brands, but you've got to do it. You've got to try, basically. But yeah, so yeah, any other questions? Again, is anyone using AI? I can't be a pioneer in this. Come on, there's got to be some guys out there using AI. If you are, what are you using it for? Are you trying to keep it secret? I'd be interested to hear. At some point, I might do a video or something around. I mean, I do a video on anything, to be honest with you. But yeah, I should do a video on AI. But I need to actually get good at it first and figure out what I'm using it for, where I'm finding it useful in my Amazon business. Okay, another question for everyone out there then. Okay, is anyone still an STK, and if not, which one have you moved on to? Which one have you guys moved on to? I know there's Sellafuse, Invino, Sellasite, all quite popular ones. Which ones are you guys on to now? I think Sellafuse is the most popular one right now. Have I tried Profit Go yet? So Profit Go is the so Adrian's saying Sellafuse, nice. So Profit Go is that is the SellerAmp equivalent for Profit Path, right? If I remember correctly. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's the product insight sort of software. I have not tried it, actually. Interesting you should ask that, actually, because I'm actually just about to sign up to Profit Path to get some pings and stuff like that. And but yeah, so Profit Go, mega expensive. So yeah, you get it as I don't know if, again, I need to look at the pricing and stuff, whether they do it as part of is it all in one, or can you get it separately? Or is it part of the actual sort of Profit Go? Okay, you can do it. Okay, it's you've got two different options here. You've got, let me screenshot it for you guys. I mean, these are the yearly prices. I've not used it myself. Again, I should probably give it a go. Oops. So, €16 a month isn't that, I mean, SellerAmp's more expensive than that, if I remember correctly. So yeah, not too bad. That's the yearly price, to be fair, but yeah. You can start off with it. You can try it for free, I guess. But yeah, I've not. Hey Zion, how's it going? Appreciate you coming on. Revboard. Seen a few people talk about Revboard. Actually, I've not actually seen that one myself. Actually, let's have a look. Is that a new one then, or let me just quickly put myself on Do Not Disturb. Sleep. Let's put myself on sleep. Let's actually have a look and see. Although probably going to these websites might kill my stream. Yeah, I'll give it a go and see what it's like, to be fair. Do you think? So Helen's saying, do you think you could you think about doing a daily deal sheet for leads for monthly costs without joining mentoring? Yeah, it's an interesting one. So, one of the things we actually have realized in the mentoring is, I don't want to reveal too much about it because, yeah, anyway, but the thing is we give you a few leads, basically, let's put it like that. So as part of the mentoring, not only do you get the knowledge, and again, if you're interested in mentoring, link below, by the way, you can book a discovery call with me. But yeah, the thing about the mentoring is we obviously teaching you all this stuff, but we also want to give you some leads as well. So we actually give you some leads. Now, the problem with that is people who are on limited budgets, let's say, for example, are just buying those leads and they're not actually necessarily learning the sourcing methods because, and I don't blame them, too fair, just taking the low-hanging fruit from the leads we give. So actually, it's one of these ones where we might actually have to roll back for leads a little bit and maybe not give as many because it's the whole cruel to be kind kind of thing, because if you don't do the work and learn the sourcing methods that we teach, because we're just giving you leads, then you may as well just go to a leads group, basically, rather than paying for a mentoring program. But so it's one of those difficult ones. It's like we wanted to give It's the whole like thing of teach a man to fish. He can feed himself for a lifetime, or give a man a fish he can eat for a day or whatever. We wanted to do a bit of both. Give you some stuff to start right away, but also teach you how to source. But it's an interesting dilemma anyway. It's one of those ones. Yeah, so Helen, probably not, to be fair. I've never really wanted to kind of do a deal Discord server. I know there's loads of them out there. I've just never been really my interest in that. I'd rather do the free server, to be honest with you. But yeah, so enough was being Cellofuge. Nice, that's another one for Cellofuge there. So, so Lewis, hey Lewis, appreciate you coming on. Do you know if the ungates that require 10 units actually need 10 units these days, or is it 100 regardless of what it says? I've not run into any issues where it says 10 and then it requires 100. I think it's pretty accurate. I'd say go in, if it says 10, go in with 10, absolutely. But yeah, so AD's saying don't do that. No, oh, don't do what? Sorry, share. Okay. Yeah, it's a balance, isn't it? It's an interesting one. You can see the kind of problem that we face. But anyway, at the same time, it's still good to give people leads. They can, probably make your money back on the mentoring just from leads alone. Maybe, I don't know, it depends how much money you've got to spend and things like that. But yeah, you got to pop that ungate check. Exactly. You just got to get out there and do it. But yeah, Lewis, I'd say if it says 10, it should be 10, unless you're using Amazon invoices, in which case it's 50. But yeah, so it's interesting anyway. So we had a few RevBoard. Apparently my page is still loading. Maybe it just doesn't work in Dubai. I know it's loaded now. The most complete Amazon dashboard you'll ever need. There was another one actually someone mentioned in my community actually. In my mentoring program, someone asked a question around a program called, let me find it. Can't find it now. Why can't I find it? I can't find the name of the software now. Oh, it's annoying me now. Oh well, apparently I can't find it. Oh, what was that software called? It apparently does admin for you. It was like an admin software. Why can't I find this? I swear it was in the question section. Oh well, apparently I can't find it now. Yeah, weird, right? Weird. I thought I don't know. Yeah, anyway, apparently there's a new sort of admin. Maybe it was RevBoard. Maybe it wasn't. 3 day. No, I don't think it was RevBoard. It was something else. I can't remember what the software is called. Now, if anyone knows what it is, someone did post it in my community, in my mentoring server, just asking about it. But yeah, I can't find it now. Oh well. Move on from that one since that's annoying me now though. What was it called? To be fair, there's a lot of new softwares coming out. To be fair, there's a lot of new softwares coming out that are designed for obviously like seller toolkit replacements, but then also like for admin and things like that. Yeah, I can't find. Oh well, never mind. Yeah, Adrian's saying don't fear the ungate. It gets way easier after 200. Yeah, so I think we've discovered it kind of like after 200 units, 3 months of selling, you pretty much get out that kind of probation period on Amazon, and ungating gets a little bit easier. But you're still gonna struggle. Sometimes. I think the thing is, remember with Amazon is you can't take no for an answer when it comes to anything. Whether you're doing so. For example, I know a guy who's going through a Section 3 right now. He got an authenticity claim on something he bought from Smiths. I actually don't know him personally. I know him through someone else. So he got an authenticity claim on something he bought from Smiths. He submitted the Smiths retail receipt. They would not accept it. However, obviously, we all know Smiths is like a major retailer. They are not selling fakes. But Amazon would not accept it. Now, he's having to use a third-party service called Appeal Guru, and they are fighting it every single day, and they're actually having to go to arbitration now, basically, for this, which is just crazy when you think about it. So, again, you just can't take a no with Amazon, really. When it comes to ungating, authenticity complaints, all this kind of stuff, you just need to keep fighting your corner. Hey, Ryan, appreciate you coming on. Thanks for coming on. Hey, Miguel, appreciate you coming on as well. SDK deserves to leave market share. Norm is lazy guy. I mean, he built some really good software that everyone used, and he didn't need to do anything, honestly. But at the same time, I agree, he maybe got a little bit lazy. He had the market lead for a long old time, and these competitors did seem to come and go, but now it feels like they're actual competitors out there, and they're really taking market share, which is probably why Norm, I don't know if he panicked or, SDK came out pretty quickly after all these other ones came out, and he seems to be actually putting a lot of effort into improving it. So yeah, but I get it. He didn't need to do anything, I guess. He had the market lead for so long, but at the same time, it was a bit silly of him because it probably has devalued the business a little bit. Because if he carried on improving it, he'd have kept the market share. No one else could have come in, and he wouldn't be worrying now about 4 or 5 different competitors coming out. Like there's always seems to be new ones coming out. There's RevBoard. There's one called Xenon as well or something. What's it called? Xenon or Xenon or something or. I can't remember. It doesn't remind me if anyone knows the name of that one. But yeah, the seller. So obviously, Seller Toolkit's the main one. Seller Board was one that's pretty popular for wholesale people. Seller Fuse. Oh, Xanon rebranded to RevBoard. Okay, well, I've got a big issue with Xanon because they came into my server and sort of spammed their link. So, which I thought was a pretty rude. So I kind of So maybe I'll give them another chance. I don't know, but I'm not a big fan of that. But yeah, they could have asked, or anyway. Yeah, so I think RevBoard's a better name, to be fair, than Xanon. But yeah, Seller Board is top tier, not going to lie. Don't you still have to input your cost of goods excluding VAT, though? That always irked me massively, and honestly was a game change. That was a deal breaker for me, to be honest with you, when it came to that software. Okay, interesting. We're going down the software route. Is there any other interesting software that people are using out there that's like not, not the traditional sort of seller AMP and obviously, when it comes to like profit, like figuring out profit on items, you've got Seller Amp, you've got Profit Go now, is it called? Sorry, and you've got Buybot Pro. And obviously, when it comes to profit tracking software, we've got Seller Toolkit, all these other ones as well. Any other ones that I'm not aware of, or any other bits of software that's not kind of like well known that people are using out there for running their Amazon business? That'd be interesting to hear if anyone's got any. If you don't mind sharing, any interesting software out there that anyone's using that's like a little bit under the radar, it'd be kind of interesting to hear. So obviously we've got all the different Discord servers we use for pings, A2A pings, things like that, with deals as well potentially. Just trying to think really. Yeah, your wholesale, so it's fine. That's cool. The thing is, it's such an easy thing. I just don't know why they didn't allow you to basically say just a little toggle on. So maybe they have it added it now, but just a toggle to say, look, I'm a wholesaler. Wholesale mode and non-wholesale mode basically. So if you're in wholesale mode, you can enter excluding VAT, and if you're not in wholesale mode, you can enter including VAT. So that way, I don't have to figure out my cost of goods every time. That seemed like such a simple feature, and that way you can hit all the market. Best A2A monitors in the game right now, I think. Oh, God, I don't know if I should say this. Oh, no. I don't know if I can say that right now. I actually probably can't say, actually, because I've been kind of, oh, dear. Go on then. I think Hustle Club's pretty good right now. Actually, Arbisource, their monitors are really good as well. And I might have an EU one to tell you about next week, basically. But those two ones are pretty good right now. To be fair, Profit Sweep, Profit Sweep was literally top dog for the longest time. I wouldn't say they're top dog anymore, but saying that, they do get some good pings out there as well. So, those are kind of 3 ones I'd mainly talk about. I am a part of one called Prime Sniper. Honestly, I'm paying for it and don't use it. I actually don't know if it's any good or not. But yeah, so those are kind of the ones I'm maybe talk about now. Yeah, they're okay. Basically, yeah, those are the ones I'd use. Thing with A2A though, it's always shifting. Seems to be. But yeah, you can't go wrong with those ones. And then yeah, if you want to do A2A EU, I mean, we'll talk maybe next week. I'll have something out to talk about with that one. But yeah, so just in a process of doing a deal right now, someone. So, but yeah, we'll talk about that basically. But A2A, by the way, is low hanging fruit. Get into A2A. The problem is you just don't want to run your whole business on it. Again, well, you can do if you want to. But if you want to really scale, you need to do more than that. So, you need to be actually sourcing as well, in my opinion. Actually putting some effort into sourcing, which is it does require effort. Don't get me wrong, but there are plenty of deals out there. So, but yeah, any other interesting softwares out there? I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's like, so from an AI point of view, I'm using Claude right now, so I'll see how that goes. Oh, there was a bit of software that someone mentioned to me a while back. Actually, I need to write these softwares down, which was good for like tracking and doing all your invoices and things like that. I can't remember what it was called now. But yeah, again, what softwares what am I going to say here? What A2A monitors is everyone else using out there right now? Again, most people, if they've got a good one, they probably won't want to share it. So yeah, it's the one run by Heathy. Yeah, Hustle Club. Hustle by Heathy, I think it is on. I don't know what's going on there. Weird. But there we go. Anyway, strange. Yeah, browse marketplace. Strange. But yeah, so I'll throw the link out there for you guys if you want to join up. View assets. Should probably have these ready to go. So let's put this in the chat quickly somewhere. If you guys want to give it a go, there you go. Pretty good. I think I had a wait list for a long time. It might be full, but there's a link there anyway. The one you mentioned you don't look at, I've had very good experience with the monitors in there. Defo, take a look. The one you mentioned you don't look at. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Interesting. Okay. I need to honestly, yeah. The one thing I don't like, I'm not saying these guys are doing that right now, but if there's too much spam, it really irritates me because I end up spending more time looking through the spam than I do actually buying items. So sort of spam does annoy me a little bit, but at the same time, it seems like some of the better ones are the spammy ones actually. So I really should, pay attention to it. There's, again, every time I look at it and think about cancelling, I see there's loads of people in there, so I must be missing something. Well, not loads of people, but like a decent number of members. So yeah. Anyway, A2A is really good, but at the same time, again, you need to learn how to source as well. That's an important thing. I guess one tip I'll give you guys, that I, will say, and this is obviously going to help you guys a lot, but when there's an A2A drop, always try and figure out what the price match is. It's typically a price match to another retailer. So after you've bought the A2As, there's sometimes you can go off and find it somewhere else. There's a little tip for you that is just going to make you more money. But yeah, no, I appreciate it, Miguel. But yeah, any other questions or anything around Amazon or anything I can help with, let me know. But yeah, so I've got big decisions right now when it comes to moving out here. But right now I'm leaning towards that actually. So yeah, that is so weird actually, because there's a guy in my community right now who FBA moguls who said they've been selling for 2 years and they got an auth claim and their account got suspended, which just seems I mean, I've had honestly so many auth. I've had dozens and dozens of auth claims. I'm probably going to say I've had probably 20 to 30 auth claims, I'd say, in my entire career on Amazon in 4 years. And my first one probably came, I don't know how early on. I don't know when my very first one was, to be fair. But I've never been threatened with account closure or not, obviously, if I left it and didn't address it, maybe, but I've not been immediately suspended. I've obviously always been able to win those as well. I had loads of them with Nike sneakers, loads of them. Those Nike sneakers I was buying from Sports Direct. I mean, if they're selling fakes, I don't know, you're screwed, aren't you? Really, but it's because Nike quality control is terrible. Uh, the shoes were not good quality, basically, but they were made at a price point. But yeah, it's weird how that some people get get one auth claim, but I think it also depends where it comes from as well. So if it comes from a random seller, obviously doesn't have quite as much credence as it does from the actual brand themselves saying it's fake. That carries more credibility with Amazon if they do a purchase and then they say it's fake. But the problem is a lot of these manufacturers, these brands out there, are unscrupulous, and they'll even use third party like Grayscale and things like that to do buy these things, and then they'll just say it's fake, even though it's not. So again, I helped some guy who bought from. He actually had some Al Haramain. Hey Adam, appreciate you coming on, buddy. He had some Al Haramain stuff, which is a terrible brand, by the way. Do not buy that brand. No, weird. I can't see your chat coming up. Anyway, weird. And anyway, Al Haramain are a bad brand. Do not buy them anyway. But yeah, he bought and sold that on Amazon, got an auth claim. Obviously, the brand, they just make up stuff. That's why they're a terrible brand, because they'll just buy it and say it's fake. Anyway, he got this stuff, and then I think I've told this story before anyway. But yeah, actually Al Haramain in Dubai actually said, look, actually the supplier is legit. And the actual supplier, which was in Poland, actually had the letter of authorization from Al Haramain in Dubai. So Dubai head office were being fine. The actual Polish reseller wholesale were being fine and had the LOA. But but for the reason that the Grayscale, the UK head office, were being absolute douchebags, and they just wouldn't accept that stuff. And then Amazon were getting caught up with this whole LOA, saying, "Well, this is for Poland," and I'm like, they're missing the point that this thing was like. Al Haramain in Dubai have said this is legitimate wholesaler. They've got their letter of authorization. The fact that that's for Poland is completely irrelevant. That obviously means they are selling real items, not fake items. So the fact that it's in Poland is complete. But they're obviously trying to convey this across to Amazon that you're missing the point here. Poland has nothing to do with it here. They happen to be in Poland, but they are selling real items. It was a hassle, but he did get sorted in the end. Actually saying that, yeah, it actually happened to, actually, now I think about it, actually one of my mentees, just before he joined the mentoring program, and he's been selling on Amazon for like 8 years, he got an authenticity claim direct from the brand. I don't know if I can say what brand it was. I won't say what brand it is. And they basically gave him like 3 days or 7 days to send the invoice, or they'd shut his account down. Basically, something like that. Yeah, he was absolutely bricking it. Actually, don't blame him. But yeah, so yeah, that just shows you again. If it comes direct from the brand, it's definitely got more credence. Basically, Dilly Willy, can you do a video or start a trend of telling idiots to stop undercutting and tanking the prices? No, I agree with tanking. Yeah, I 100% agree that you should tank prices. So at the end of the day, the best thing to do, I'm joking by the way, the best thing to do is give the consumer the best price possible. And that means undercutting everyone. They should definitely do it. No, I mean, it's frustrating, but honestly, you got to get over it. I mean, it's like being angry at the rain. It's a market force. You cannot, you can't, you can't deal with. Adam, why are your chats not showing up on my chat? It's so weird. Not dealing with Amazon at times. Yeah, it's so weird. Your chats aren't actually showing up on my actual chat. So strange. So apologies if I'm missing those. It's showing up on the screen, but not on the actual chat. Strange. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's what can you do basically? You can start a Twitter account, Dilly. Enough was an issue with them and just shifted them on eBay instead. Yeah, you had an issue with Dior, I think it was. Enough was, wasn't it? Yeah, I don't know why, Adam. Your chats aren't showing up on the actual chat. Very strange. But maybe it's like moderation activity. What's that? Moderation activity. Nope. Weird. I don't know what's going on there. But Oh, okay, Al Haramain. Yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, just don't buy. They are absolute scumbags. Saying that though, the actual company in Dubai were good. It was just the UK head office that was the problem. Basically, that was the problem. So, but actually, yeah, the actual Dubai head office actually sent a nice letter off, a nice email confirming it was all good. So actually, it was just I guess, a communication issue going on with the UK head office. But yeah, still avoid that brand though, definitely. But yeah, so it does kind of raise some interesting things. If I decided to move out here, Al Haramain, yeah, there's a lot of good, profitable. It's an up and coming brand, I guess. It's very popular actually on Amazon. Middle Eastern brand, but yeah, they do very popular basically. And but yeah, a lot of people jumped on them, but they do not like sharing Amazon with other people. So yeah, you would avoid them. But yeah, so yeah, it kind of sucks when you get these things. But again, it's why you need to have. And again, I've had auth claims on sometimes I look at things. I'm like, say I look at a laptop or something. I'm like, I don't need an invoice for that. I'm never going to get an auth claim. But then maybe someone just selects, it doesn't look, on when they're doing a return or something. And say I had it for some wall hair clippers, which I bought from Amazon to Amazon. You wouldn't think that would be come down as an authenticity thing, but someone said they were fake, and I had to fight it with Amazon invoice. To be fair, it got accepted and acknowledged within like 3 hours, so it was fine. I mean, it was an Amazon invoice, but yeah, so. Yeah, but it does happen on anything, so you got to be careful. God, sorry guys. Apologies, it is nearly 1 a.m. here now. So, yeah. Apologies, don't mean to make you all tired. But yeah, so yeah, what I'm going to do in the next few weeks is I'm going to really knuckle down and have a look at using some AI for some of this stuff. And at the very least, probably more from the admin side. I'll be looking to use it. If it comes to coding and stuff like that, I'll just probably do it myself. Do auth claims go off after a certain time? Yes, they do. 6 months, they disappear. Yep. So give it half a year, 180 days. Your auth claims will leave your account. Now, whether they leave like a lingering mark on your account, I don't know. But do they disappear from your account health? Yes, they do. Which is again seems silly, but I'm not going to complain. I think I did actually have one in the past. I'm trying to think what brand it was, and they just wouldn't accept the invoice, and I just couldn't be bothered with it, and it literally said it had no account health impact, so I just left it and it disappeared. I cannot remember what brand it was now, but okay, Amex, your Amex restriction got removed. That's good, awesome. So that's good to hear. I had a weird dream the other day that my Amex account got shut down. It really upset me. But yeah, so you don't. That's not something you want, because it's such a, obviously the points and stuff are so awesome. But yeah, nice for some, won't lift my restriction equals less growth. So have you got an auth claim right now? Have you then, Adam? And what brand's it for? I don't know why your chat's not showing up, Adam. It's so weird. It's lucky I'm doing it on the actual. I've got it on the screen. But yeah, it's so strange that it's not showing up on the actual chat. But yeah, so AI is the big thing. I mean, I just need to embrace it more. Basically, it's becoming obviously. There's this. People are saying it could be a bubble. Who knows? But yeah, I still think it's going to be something that's useful for business and things like that. So yeah, I really need to be knuckling down and actually, working on that to make my business a little bit more effective. I mean Amex. I don't know. I know claim. Okay, Versace. So you can, yeah. I don't know if you can take. I mean, I assume you can actually. You can take auth. Yeah, take auth claims to a third party or arbitration. Don't see why you couldn't do that if you were that worried. It costs you money, takes time, but yeah. Okay, they won't lift your restriction. What's your restriction then, Adam? Is you talking about a limit on your credit, or what's happened there? What's happened to your Amex? Because mine has no limit, but obviously they do have limits, and it's based on your past 3 months spend, basically. Because they got very upset with me. Yeah. I mean, just pay it off, basically, but it does hurt your growth, yeah. But yeah, I say just pay it off. You need the money, obviously. But yeah, they got very upset with me when I got to about 70k in this Q4, last Q4. Said it was higher than your normal quarterly spends. I was like, yeah, it's Christmas. Q4. This can't be something new to you guys. And they were like, well, can you please pay some off? I was like, sure. I was like, last year I did like 100k before you panicked. But yeah, sometimes they get these little panics, I guess. And anyway, I get it. I suppose it's fine. Yeah, so Rand saying, I feel as though there are external factors or algorithm that decide if they issue Section 3 because they consist of some cells. I think it literally comes down to whether it comes from the actual brand itself. And actually, it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? If the brand themselves say it's fake, they have to take that more seriously. But yeah, so it might be account health also for Section 3. Maybe, yeah. So, but, again, I've seen someone, Amazon said with 8 years experience, ridiculous account health, get an authenticity claim direct from the brand. And but that guy was getting it wholesale. Like he had I don't know if he had an LOA, but he was getting it direct from the wholesale, and then actually they ended up did remove it in the end. But yeah, so the actual brand themselves removed it. But they initially said, and again, unfortunately, what these brands are doing is unscrupulously, being scumbags and just saying they're fake just to get you off the listing. Which again is why I say actually, one of the things I teach my mentees if a brand's giving you trouble, just don't faff around with it. Just move on to another brand. Because they can do this stuff and they can cause you all sorts of issues. If they don't want you on there, and you keep fighting IP complaints, because you can get IP complaints, keep fighting them, blah, 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 at some point they might just do something dirty, like, like buy your item and say it's fake, even though it's 100% real. I've had it multiple times from brands and seen it multiple times as well. So, anyway, just shows you've got to look after your Amazon account, and the opportunity is amazing to make money on Amazon, which is why I don't ever take any big risks, really. Again, when it comes to Cogita, I love Cogita. You can make so much money on there, but unfortunately, you've got to pass up on those deals where there's no marketplace invoice, and it sucks. Don't get me wrong. I see deals daily when I'm sourcing on there, that I just like, I could make so much money on that, but if you can't get the invoice, you are just playing with fire, basically. And then if you get an auth claim, you are screwed, because you can't fight it, because they won't take the Cogita invoice. They want both the Cogita invoice and sometimes even then you struggle. Sometimes even then you have a bit of a fight on your hands. That's just Amazon itself. You can't take no, the first no, basically, with Amazon. It's always a fight now for everything. I saw something the other day, actually, and I was just like, why is this the thing, Yeah, so, okay, nice. You got the other one going. Again, I feel like a lot of times you just got to literally just persevere and just never give up. Yeah, never surrender. So, and eventually they get sick of you, I guess, if you fight it hard enough. It's very weird. Whether it's ungating, whether it's authenticity. I mean, it should not be like that. I can understand for ungating a little bit, maybe, although, it seems silly to have a policy and not follow it. But for authenticity, it should never be like that. If you have the correct information, that should be accepted right away. Yeah. Nice. Cool. Fancy. So, yeah. What's a favourite cologne everyone's got then? Dior for you then, Nuffles. Because when you walk around the mall, they're always trying to inundate you with all these different aftershaves and perfumes and stuff. Oh, it's ridiculous. But yeah, so my classic go-to is probably Thierry de Hermes is quite nice. But my date is probably just like Hugo Boss one. But there's some crazy ones out here. Prada and Dior are both free. Everything is better when it's free. That's true. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so we've only got a few minutes left, 6 or 7 minutes, unless it starts picking up, I guess, which I can stay on for a little bit longer. But yeah, I don't know what else to talk about, really. I'm glad that this stream's working okay. I'm into my new Airbnb on the 18th of... Actually, what day is that, actually? Let's have a look. 18th of February. I'm moving Airbnbs. I'm currently in downtown Dubai, so I'm in Business Bay. About sort of 8-minute scooter ride from the Burj Khalifa. There's little Lime scooters. I used to use those all the time. I probably spent like £100. I could have bought a scooter by now. But they're so useful to drive around. And then I'm moving back to the marina for 2 months. So, and I know I've been in the previous Airbnb, so I know it's got good internet, unless they've downgraded it, of course. But yeah, having good internet makes such a big difference. These guys will be getting not a scathing review, but I will be basically saying, you guys need to sort your internet out. So it won't be a 5-star review on this Airbnb, and I've asked them multiple times to upgrade it, and they just keep ignoring me. So anyway, weird, but I kind of understand it as well. But yeah. So Nuff was saying, still undecided on where you plan to stay for long haul between Dubai. So I've not been to Cyprus yet, so I still need to make a decision on that one. But honestly, right now, I think I will give Cyprus a go, but realistically, I'll probably do Dubai for a year, see what it's like. Just do Dubai for a year and see how I get on, basically, and then go from there. I think. Yeah. So when are you going to come out in Uffles? That's the question. So are you off to Thailand? Nice, cool. So my brother's out in Thailand right now. So although I think thinking of going to Japan. So he's in Bangkok right now. But yeah, I think he's thinking of going off to Japan. But actually, one thing my brother said, actually, he's surprised at how expensive it actually is to live in Thailand now. Like, it used to be like dirt cheap, but now the cost of living's gone up quite a lot. Maybe because lots of people are moving there, I don't know. But yeah, it's still obviously way cheaper than somewhere like Dubai, but he just said it's a little bit more expensive than, it used to be. And it's kind of, a little bit painful, I suppose, in that regard. Unless you eat like street food and stuff and things like that, which is like, you just, you're going to get sick. Yeah, 1,500 a month all in. That's not too bad. So what have you got? A villa in Uffles, or what have you got? I mean, I'd love to get a villa in Dubai, but it'd be so expensive. Absolutely ridiculous. This is going for daily soapy massages. Yeah, well, I guess it depends where you live and stuff like that. So I think obviously Bangkok's probably more expensive than other parts of Dubai, of Thailand. You got a hotel, okay? So he's in an Airbnb, but it's not that great of an Airbnb, my understanding. Anyway, so yeah, I'm trying to think where else. I'll give Cyprus a go and at least I can get a villa in Cyprus. For $3,000 a month, I can definitely get a villa there, and just give that a go for a few months, 2 or 3 months, see what it's like, and make a final decision. Although at that point, I'll have to, I don't know. It's a difficult one. I don't know. It's a difficult one. So I thought you'd be moving to Hungary, Nuffles, or where would you move? But yeah, if anyone's coming to Dubai, by the way, or in Dubai, feel free to reach out. There's actually a guy in my community who said he'd just come back from Dubai. He was thinking of moving. So I think he's Italian. He's got his Amazon business in Italy right now. Was asking, should he move it to, if he moves to Dubai, which he's thinking of doing, should he move his Amazon business out there? I personally think it's a terrible idea. I personally wouldn't do it myself. I would continue to run a UK business, Amazon business in the UK, keep that Amazon account, his UK account. Because essentially, if, let's say, for example, you open up a business in Dubai, or wherever, and then you try and transfer your Amazon account, essentially what you're doing is shutting down one entity in the UK and then opening up a new one in the destination country. And I just don't know. I feel like it's just that'd be a nightmare with Amazon. I also feel like it might reset your account slightly as well, because essentially, as far as they're concerned, it might not be even the same person running it anymore. It could be like almost like a transfer of account, like a sale of an account almost. I'm not saying it is that, but for me, I just think it's just you're asking for trouble to try and move. I think you're better off just making a brand new Amazon account out here and doing it that way than trying to transfer it over. But yeah. So I'm here until the 18th of April. So, but yeah. But, sorry to hear that, mate. Sorry to hear that. But yeah, so, so I'm here for a little while, basically. But, if anyone's out here wants to come visit, message me and we'll hang out. Go out for a meal or something. I'm very good at eating, so, know all the good spots to eat. Actually had some ramen noodles earlier, so good, like Wagyu beef, so tasty. So, but yeah, not cheap, but pretty tasty though. But yeah, so my cost of living is just ridiculous right now. I must be spending $6,000 a month, probably. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm spending. It's so bad. But yeah, I need to get back on the straight and narrow of cooking at home. Thing is, this place doesn't have a dishwasher, and I hate washing up. But it's still pretty cheap to pay someone to come in and wash up for me. But yeah, I just hate places like dishwashers. Anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, cool. Any final questions or any comments or anything anyone's got? If not, I'll probably wrap it up there. So it's 1 a.m. here. And I'll be back on Thursday, 8 p.m. UK time. Again, if you are new to Amazon, again, if you're watching this after the fact or watching it now, and you're interested in mentoring, you've got a link below. You can book a discovery call with me. The price on that is actually going to go up. It goes up every 10 students. We're on 16 students right now. So when it hits 20, the price will go up by £1,000. So get in early. If we book a call, then that kind of books the price for you. You've got the free Discord community as well, again, link down there, and the Cogito as well. Again, Cogito is an amazing platform to make money on, but you need to make sure you're buying marketplace invoice from suppliers with marketplace invoices. Again, link for that below. Use code FBAMogul to get £100 off your first order. A really good offer, and only use that code once, one account, one time only on that. No multi-accounting. They're going after people for doing that. They're really angry with people who multi-account. So there's legal letters and stuff being sent out to try and claim that money back. So don't do that. Just it's a one-time gift from them and me. Do it one time basically. But yeah, anyway, appreciate everyone coming on. Thanks. It's been a good session, and I'll speak to you soon, guys. Okay, and I'll